I got the net. Wow, he's long. Wow, wow, wow. How do you do it? You're so relaxed. Those tournament guys would like a fish that big. Good one, Barb.
Let's go fishing. People, when you're in the mood, let's go fishing. Well, it's just me and you. Head on down to the fishing hole. Grab your hat, get your pole. Let's go fishing. When you're in the mood.
Canadian Sport Fishing, brought to you in part by Rapala, premium fishing gear crafted from experience. Ducket Fishing, pro-driven. Raymarine Electronics, Raymarine, simply superior. Pro Sports Boats, tame the waters.
The net, that would be great.
Okay.
We got a nice walleye.
Wow, that is a nice one. Good going, Italo.
Thank you. He slammed it. He wasn't messing around, Barb. Come on. Come on. Oh, get him in the net. Oh, Barbara, come in closer. You don't have to go way out there. I'll bring him in. Just so that the net is, the hoop is... Okay, get him in.
Okay.
Nice walleye.
That's a nice fat.
Middle of the day. Middle of the day walleye. And how long do you think he is, Barb?
I would say he's 20. What do you think?
I don't know. I'm going to measure him.
Okay.
Then I'll tell you. That's a good way to be sure, right?
Yeah, that's a very good way.
There. So you said 20, Barb?
Yeah.
He is 20. How did you know?
I don't know.
Okay. It's going to go in the bag, Scott. You released the first walleye. And this is going in. What we like to do is put our fish on ice. You can see I've got a nice heavy plastic bag with a bag of ice in there that Scott brought. And then we put a bag of ice on top so that he can chill. Nice and fresh.
They were very nice coming with ice versus our live well.
So much better.
Like we keep ours
Well,
in the live well. But
yeah, when it's this warm, I find that in a live well they die. It's really hard to keep walleye alive. The water temperature is almost 80. I think when I was running it was about 78. So and it's the middle of the
do
day.
you have a live well on the boat?
No,
No, we don't.
for that purpose. I just use coolers.
Well, we used to have aerators.
I either release the fish or we put them on ice if people are keeping them. Okay, guys, are you ready?
We are.
There's got to be more than one, right?
Gotta be that. Well,
Okay.
so we thought
One,
about
there's
the other
school
spot
fish,
too.
so-
Exactly, exactly. Way to go, Barb. It's a nice largemouth. Here, do you want to flip him in the boat? Bring him right up. Yep, grab the line. Good job, Barb. Just got to be careful. I'm going to hold him because it's got the two hooks there. That worked out okay. Pretty, Barb. Look at him.
Beautiful.
Did you want to kiss him? No, you're
Yeah,
okay?
I'll kiss him.
Okay, good. Okay, there he goes. Beautiful. You know, I've been working with Raymarine for many years. This is their Axiom series, and it's an excellent unit. But I want to talk to you about fishing reefs. Look at, you can see the reef here. This one is rocks, and it comes up to 15 feet. The reason it's a little greener is because there's weeds there. So you can see one there. You can see one here. You can see one here. So the surrounding water is 20 feet roughly. So these are perfect areas to locate walleye in the middle of the day when they want to go feed, because these are isolated weed beds surrounded by deep water. So the strategy that I use when I'm fishing these reefs, the wind is a key factor. So I always position myself above the reef so that the wind will push me onto the reef. And some of the best fishing is when it's wavy. It's fine when it's calm too, but I find that the fish move into these feeding areas, especially when there's a chop on the water, and I always try to fish the windy side of the reefs. So what I do, I get into position when I can reach them in about 10, 12 feet of water or 15, and I put my motor on GPS anchor mode. That's the move by power power pole, and I make long casts with the wind. I do that for two reasons. Number one, I'm saving energy with my electric instead of fighting the wind and coming into the wind, and I want to fish the windy side of the reef, because that's where most of the action is, when the current and waves are hitting the actual reef. Plus I can make really long casts casting with the wind. So I'll do that for maybe 15-20 casts, and then I'll release the anchor, GPS anchor, and I'll move just another maybe cast length toward the reef, and then I'll pin it again and I'll cast again. And I'll work the whole reefs, the whole side, the windward side. So I tell people when we're fishing together that the wind is our friend. So we're not going to fight the wind. We always position the boat. Even if I'm running the electric, I want to always go with the wind. I don't want to go against it. Unless I'm doing some special techniques like for bass, where I'm pitching or flipping, and I want to fish like pockets, and I want the boat to move extremely slow. Then I'll go into the wind a little bit. But for long casts and covering water when I'm walleye fishing, usually with the wind and using the anchor mode to anchor us in position and cast is the best way to go.
It looks like a nice drum. Well done, guys.
Got a fish. I got one. I got one.
I'm gonna get the pliers. I'm gonna give you a hand. There. Good. He's not hooked too bad.
No, he's not. You got him?
Just a young drum. So when I explained that to you about the auto lifts, right? If you were to keep a drum, a lot of people don't know that they are good eating.
Now that one's a little small.
Oh yeah, it's a little small, but look, Paul, if you put the knife in here,
Yeah.
and you split the head open after you kill the fish, and you part the head apart,
That's where
there's two balancing stones that are in their inner ear in a clear fluid. So a lot of people collect them.
Where are those stones?
They're ivory. They're white.
Really?
Yep. Scott, it's amazing how you caught the most fish so far this morning.
It's been
Okay.
This is a bit.
Are you? Is it a drum?
It might be.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think it's
I don't think so.
pulling like that.
No, it's a channel cat. When was the last time you ate channel catfish? They're delicious.
40 years.
They're delicious. Nice fillets.
Big fish.
How do you do that? You got multi-species fishing these reefs.
That's a nice size baby.
It's a good fighter, right?
I'm going to walk you through cleaning that one, buddy. I'm going to get my knife that extends to a bigger...
I like the bend on that rod.
Yes.
yeah, that's
It's funny. Normally people use bait for them, you know, but they'll hit. They can be aggressive. They'll hit lures, as we can see.
He's not ready yet.
No.
After you got rid of that, you decided, I'm not doing it. Lose 'em.
He's not ready yet.
Wow. Big fish, eh?
That's going to be a nice photo.
I think he's gonna be like.
You have to get your photo camera.
Wow! Wow! Wow!
He's ugly as sin, though.
He's in the bag, as they say. High five. Good job.
Nice one, buddy.
Now,
They
oh, good. The
They're
lure.
not like the other where they
The lure-
try things will sting you, eh?
Notice that I'm going vertically with the net. I'm not using the handle because I don't want to snap the handle. Oh my goodness.
That's a heavy one, eh?
Yeah, and the lure's out of his mouth, the crankbait. Do you want me to change that lure to something different? So, are you okay? Okay.
think it'll work.
Okay, just checking. Okay. I'm going to show the viewers
I might
though.
need mind change.
You know what I do, Scott? I mess around with crankbaits, eh?
Okay.
So this one has got a custom paint job on it. So I've got all these paints for plastics, for hard lures. And did I tell you I love this net?
Yes.
Isn't that a pretty bait?
That is.
Beautiful. Little dots. I don't know that makes any difference. I think it just looks pretty, so I like it. Would you mind just handing me the pliers? Because because it got into the net, it bent some of the hooks, like that hook. So it's really important that we bend them back. So if you get some more fish, you can hook them properly.
Now, are the whiskers on this guy, were they stinging?
No, right here. the 2 dorsal.
Yeah.
Here, come on down here with your finger, Paul. Feel over here.
Yeah.
Feel this spine right here.
Yeah.
Go ahead, grab it, both sides, with your fingers. Grab it like that, so you can
yeah.
feel it. The inside has barbs, so if you get that into a new part of your body, it's really hard to rip it off with pliers. It's barbed, just like I know that because I've had them in me, and it's hard, especially smaller ones. Okay, so we'll put that over the side or on the rod, and Paul, just stand a little bit that way. I'm not trying to get you out of the shot.
Yeah,
That's what I was thinking.
That is a nice channel catfish. Yeah, you can let go of him. He's a little bit big, Barb. Look at, what an animal. Beautiful.
Almost 30 years, I would tell people if you come and fish eastern Lake Ontario for walleye, all you need to do is have one of these lures. This is the Rapala Tail Dancer number 9. This one's called the Bleeding Series. You can see it's got a red lip. This is the regular one here. Unfortunately, they don't make them anymore. They do make the Tail Dancer series, but not in the original. There's the Tail Dancer Deep, which doesn't have the same action, and it dives a lot deeper. Some of them will go down to 30 feet. So one thing you'll see that both these lures have in common, they have a banana lip. And that lip makes them have this really wide angle, a wobble, that walleye like. In addition to the wide wobble going like this, they also do this at the same time. They kind of tilt. So I call that flash. So they do this, and they also do this. So the walleye can really spot that yellow. And I think that yellow reminds them of perch, so they go and nail it. You can see that they're made out of wood. They don't have any rattles. So I find some days that lures that have rattles work well, especially if the walleye are not active. But when they're feeding, I find that quiet lures that resemble the food that they're going after, some of the panfish or some of the bait fish, work really well. I normally cast these in water that's 10 to 12 feet deep, all along the edges of the weeds where they end. But you can troll with these. If you do troll with them, if you run about 100 feet or 150 feet of 20-pound test braided line, they'll go down to about 15 feet. So they're perfect lures to use if you're walleye fishing in the eastern end of Lake Ontario.
I'll get the net, okay, Barb? You hold on to it. That's okay. Nice one. Oh! Come on. Come on. Good one. Yeah, Barb. That's a chunky one. Look at those tournament guys would like a fish that big. Yay, Barbara! And look how lightly he was hooked. Just by one little hook. If you would have tried to flip him in the boat, I think he might have gotten off. Perfect, just like that. Good one, Barb. Okay, let me just have a good look at him, and then I'm going to toss him back in the water. Look at, isn't he beautiful?
Yes, nice.
Beautiful colors, eh?
Yeah.
There he goes. Gone. And I have my wife Barbara with me, Paul Wilson, and Scott Carpenter. We've had some fun fishing together. So we're out here, it's a gorgeous day, and my strategy today is to fish reefs and shoals. So we've got a couple of boats out here that are doing the same thing. I think some are trolling. You know me, we're casting crankbaits. So I'm using that Duckett Walleye Series rod. Crankbaits that dive down to about 10 feet. All spinning outfits, even though we could use bait casters. So one of our strategies casting is long casts. So I'm using the Boom 1.0 spinning reel. 20-pound Suffix 832 braid, and covering as much water as we can, and trying to intercept walleyes that are coming on and off these reefs and shoals to feed. Scott, what have you got? Oh, it's a walleye.
Whoa. Good stuff.
So I haven't asked you lately, what do you think of this casting lures instead of trolling?
I think it's great.
Yeah.
I actually wasn't a very big fan of trolling until my brother-in-law got me into it.
Oh, okay. You're not going to mention any names, are you?
I wouldn't know.
Okay.
I've got so many of them.
Yeah.
They can guess.
Do you want me to change the lure now to something else?
No.
Okay. I'm messing with you. You know that, right?
No,
You know why I gave you this lure in that color?
why is that?
Because it produces fish.
Oh, okay. That was nice.
And it looks pretty, right? You got to admit.
Do you change the color of these lures up, or are these the
Sometimes.
all the time?
Sometimes. You know what? He's a perfect eater. What do you think? How long do you think he is?
I think he's 15.
I think he's over that.
He's over.
Let's go right here. Let's go right over here. Stop.
18.
Stop. He is 19. Because if I close his mouth, yeah, he's over 18. He's over 18. You know what? Why don't we release him in the cooler? Because he's good eating size. If you help me grab the bag, I'll put him in. Grab the ice. There. There you go. Perfect. Good job. Just call for the net. I'll be down here as soon as you need me. Barbara, you're up.
Okay, I'm up.
So why are you going with these? What's your rationale that you're using the same side, and I'm assuming they're going, what, 15 feet?
No, they're going 5 to 10
Okay.
for how far we're casting, because the weeds were in about 10 feet of water, 12 feet with some weeds.
above the weeds.
We want it around the weeds, close to the bottom, and the action is really important. So when you look for crankbaits, I tell people, be aware of how the lip comes out. If the lip is straight out from the lure, like this, straight out, so it's parallel to the lure, it'll have a very tight action, like this. If the lip is down a little bit, like on this one, the action is a little bit wider. I call it a sexy wobble. And if the lip is down more, it'll have a really wide wobble, and it won't dive as deep.
Okay.
So it's not just a crankbait. Yeah.
The action.
I tell people it's all about the
And
details.
I know you're tying them on the same way. You have those clips.
Yes.
And you're tying on direct.
Yeah, it's just a snap. No snap swivel.
I don't know how to tie here. That would be tricky.
That's a blood knot, and the best place to learn knots on the internet is called animated knots. Animated knots, because it shows you step by step. Knots are very hard to remember how to tie if somebody shows you.
Well, you have YouTube on.
And what are you doing? Just
This is a trilene knot here, and this is a blood knot that connects those two, the braid to the fluorocarbon.
yeah, because you're not got any ball there.
No, it's just very, very slick. Or you can go to the Italo Labignan YouTube channel and just put knots in.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, you know what? I'd love to chat, but I think we got some more room in that cooler. Now, when I'm fishing at the front of the boat, I have a Raymarine Element. This is a 5-inch. You can see here, this is another reef, and this green is all the weeds. You can see my track. See my track? So in this case, I've saved my track because this reef can get really windy. So I want to make sure that I'm fishing right along the edge of it, casting my crankbaits. So again, I position my boat so that it's in the right location, so that I'm casting with the wind. And most of the time, when it's windy, because it's out in the open and surrounded by deep water, the water here is probably about 30 feet deep, 25, 30 feet deep off of it. You can see where the shoal ends, it's about 15 feet, but then it goes down to about 30, 40 feet. I always want to make sure that I'm casting with the wind, and I'll use my anchor. If you don't, the electric anchor, you don't have an anchor, it's good to actually use a real anchor. Just drop it down and make a few casts, 10, 15 casts, and then lift it up and slip a little bit, and then use the anchor again. Or if you have a small boat like a car topper, have your motor in reverse and try to hold it so that you can cast and fish an area. And because of the wind, you should be able to make some long casts right along that critical area. We call it the strike zone, right where that, I've got it marked here. You can see my track here, where it's going towards the actual reef. I'm trying to look over your shoulder, but you're so tall. What the heck have you got?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
I think it might be a nice
What is it that he
walleye.
hasn't caught in here yet?
I think it's a nice walleye.
I think it is.
Gonna stand up here.
Plug in, it's not yanking.
Okay, you know what? Come on, bring the rod over. Or no, yeah, but you're coming to the motor. Come on this side. Yeah. There. Oh, that's okay. Lift up, reel down. Maybe you got another channel cat. Lift up, reel. It's another channel cat. It's a big one. Look at the boil it made. It's like a diver. Have you always had this relationship with channel catfish, big ones?
Not for a lot of years.
Your drum are going to be jealous.
Keep him away from that motor. Don't let him go in there. What's your secret? Like, what are you doing different? Yeah, Paul, let's go. What's the net guy doing? That's another big one. Way to go. So you're on a. Did I explain to you that we're trying to get walleye and bass?
You did.
Okay,
And I
okay,
apologize.
okay. Just like that. And now vertical. Yeah. No, you can hold him closer. He's big. Just up a little bit. And just turn him a little bit. Yep, so the sun's on him.
Look at that. He's got a sexy wobble.
One more time. Perfect. He's a good fish. Do you want to keep him?
I don't think he's as big as your first one.
No. No? Okay. So just over the side.
Unless you want to try it.
No, over the side and then open the thing.
Another day, if you get
Try to extend your arm out so I can get a nice shot of him.
If you got one that was a little bit smaller, I'll take it. Try it.
Gone. Man, look at that. You like a few bubbles?
Down here at the first one.
Perfect. How are you doing this, Paul?
I don't know.
That's 2 in a row. Oh, it's a nice bass. It's a big bass.
Barb's bass. No, hers wasn't that big. I'm just saying. I seen it. It was right close to the boat. Get over here.
Nice bass.
Oh, maybe.
Beautiful. I think you're on a roll. What's that? Birdie?
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Well done.
Thank you. That's a beautiful fish too.
Scott, are you bombing the shot?
Well, I'm just kind of throwing my shirt in there because I got this bass shirt on.
Okay, let me just take a photo. You don't mind, right? Just we got a record of it. Beautiful. Wow, that is a nice fish. Good job.
Yeah, broke the ice.
Nice walleye. I didn't put the anchor on anchor mode. Okay, I'm going to let you grab it. Let me just get the lure out here.
Get her there first.
There. I'm going to toss that over the side. Want you to hold him up so we can get a nice look at him. He looks like another 20-incher. Look, Scott has already got the lid off. We're not wasting any time. Good job. Look at that. Look at this smile. He's so gold. I love how thick they are. Look how thick they are. They're back. That's perfect eating size.
Beautiful fish.
About 20 inches. I think we should release it into the cooler. What do you think?
I was worried there. You were saying release, and I got almost panicked.
Yep. We're doing okay. Fishing these open water reefs.